Well, hello there, this is Skipper and this is Space Engineers mod. So this time we are taking a look at AQD, a Quantum of Death, which is a mod pack of some sort that is all about quality of life changes. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that you are definitely going to notice is AQD Builder's Skybox. And as you can clearly see, this is a skybox that is pretty clear if you ask me. And why is this useful? Let's say you are trying to build something, then having a very clean and empty environment is practically the best for you. If you want to build something for a different game, for example, you want to build a model for Unity to add to it, but you are not very good at Blender. I mean, you could probably build something in here and then transform it into Blender if it is easier for you. But you have all of your axes, you have Z, plus and minus, Y and X. So yeah, this is a very clean thing. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with planets, so if you spawn in the world that has planets, you will have just a black screen. But so this works basically only on the empty world. Just keep that in mind. Next mod on the list is AQD No Armor Edges. So when you build two types of armor, heavy armor and light armor, just beside each other, or you just maybe try to change the color of everything. Well, then you have some nasty edges, and this mod, this quality of life mod, just deletes them. As you can see, there are no such edges. I mean, it kind of looks a bit strange for somebody who played quite a lot of Space Engineers, but in some situations it doesn't look too bad. For example, in here, normally you would have a edge in here, in this place, on this corner, but with this mod, you don't have it, and it looks clean, definitely clean. Next on the list, we have the armor expansion, still from the AQD, which, as you can see, adds quite a lot of blocks, different blocks that will probably suit you well in your builds. I mean, sometimes we are lacking some blocks, and you don't have all of them in Space Engineers. Sometimes there is a certain shape that you just simply cannot click in vanilla game, but with that, well, it probably is no problem. I would say most of those blocks are suited for transition, so if you're transitioning from one slope to another, they look probably the best. Also, the good fact about them is that they work perfectly with all of the different skins that are currently in the game. And you have a light variant and heavy variant. The next mod is AQD Weapons Rebalance. So this, with few dependencies, will make your vanilla style battles a bit more balanced. So what it does? Well, basically it changes few things. First of all, your tanks, which is currently in game, but wasn't when the mod was created, can now explode. And also, it applies the same for the reactors, so if you have a reactor in your ship, it needs to be well protected. Without that, it is going to go kaboom, which is not a good thing, it can destroy your ship. It also changes a few things about the balance in, the game. Some weapons are better, some are worse, some work better against some types of armor. This kind of stuff, I won't go into it. You can read everything about this mod in the description. And yeah, if you are interested, take a look. If we are talking about war, don't you think your thrusters are a little bit too brittle for their own good? And you need to somehow protect them, but blocks aren't lining up and everything is wrong. Well, then this mod is for you. This is AQD Armored Thrusters, and it basically adds what it says, Armored Thrusters. Overall, is complied of 14 different thruster types, so we basically have each and every one that is in vanilla version, but with different variants of protection. We have a sloped version, we have the inverted slope version, we also have fully covered thing. So it works for small grid, it works for big grid, it works with ion engines. Overall, pretty great addition, especially if you don't want to worry so much about your engines just blowing up mid-fight. Because those engines are, from what I could see, they basically have twice the HP of a normal thruster, so I recommend it. But that's not all, we also have banners LCDs, and this mod is very simple. It basically adds a few LCDs that are a bit different from normal ones. Basically they are transparent, they don't have practically any frame. As you can see, you basically couldn't tell that there is an LCD in here, you just thought this was gonna shine. So yeah, this is the purpose. You just put them on the wall and they fit perfectly. No frame, no nothing, anything like this. From the description, they suit best for showing large signs and also showing the name of your ship. But you can do everything you want with them. They are LCDs. Do what you want. But what would fit perfectly with the LCDs that we just added? Well, the image extensions, of course. This mod is also from AQD, and it adds 11 different types of signs that you can put on your LCDs. They work practically the same. You just go into control panel, find an image that you want, and you add it, and it works. Next on the list are sleek corridors, which is a mod that adds very nice corridors. So basically in the vanilla game we have this type of a thing which is called passage, and this is basically so that you can do a passage through your ship or your station. You can either put it like this or like this, and this is the vanilla version. No lights, no intersections, nothing. This is just basically one block, but with the sleek corridors, oh, we have so much more. So first things that you are going to notice, you have windows right now. You have windows, yeah, this is very interesting. But also you have a version with light. You finally don't have to use your torch inside the station. Why would you? You are in civilized world, you are an engineer, you should be able to have light in your station. So this is very amazing. Also you have this type of corridors, so cross sections. You have slopes, you have T-sections. Everything that you want to like to have. And of course somebody may say, well, just use the blocks from Warfare. Because in DLC Warfare you get access to those nice passages. But in my opinion, if you don't have DLC and you would like to have some nice passages, use this mod. It's amazing. You don't even have to use any other, just use this mod. Oh, but that's not all. We also have reinforced windows from AQD, and this adds 11 reinforced windows blocks, which fits perfectly when you try to build a ship and you want to have a nice view. This is pretty stupid that we don't have this in vanilla game. Even after 2 Warfare updates, even after the newest update, All Wanted, we still don't have any type of reinforced windows. And it's very nice that they added a bit more stuff about windows, but we are still lacking some things. For example, if you ever wanted to build something like this observation post, or you wanted to have a very nice cockpit that, you can basically observe the battle, you cannot do it, you'll easily get sniped and destroyed. But with this thing, those blocks are about 3 times more durable than the normal vanilla version. So this is a great option if you are into looking at, battle. But also they are perfect if you try to build a custom ship. If you're trying to build a ship and you didn't want to use the normal cockpit and then put glass on top of that cockpit from the vanilla game, you basically can use this with a pilot seat and it will work just fine. So this is amazing for rovers, for ships, for everything. Look at this small little gyroscope. Do you really want to use that? Or do you want to use this? This is a ginormous, this is Upgradable Gyroscopes mod from also AQD. So why is this mod amazing? First of all, it adds this ginormous gyroscope that is about 30 times more powerful than the normal version. And what is the purpose of it? Well, it is very simple. If you have a very big and heavy ship, you need a lot of gyros, and this takes space, and this is a very aesthetically pleasing solution to that. It doesn't take that much space and looks much better. Oh, and also doesn't take up so much space. But that's not all. It also has 4 different slots for upgrade modules. Each of those modules, as you can see, it increases its output by 1.4 each, which is amazing. This is going to be a very powerful gyroscope. And if you want to, preserve a bit of resources, also don't take as much space and be aesthetically more pleasing, you have a gyroscope booster. You can put a gyroscope on it, the vanilla version, and it will increase its output by times 2, which is of course perfect. You don't need any more gyros, you just need this thing and it will work just fine. Oh, you're still here? You want even more quality of life things? Well, let me introduce you to Small Grid Expansion, the mod that's at 5 different blocks, which you know from vanilla game, and converts them into the small grid version, which is just amazing. They basically work like the same like the normal big grid version, but they are just small. So we have the gravity generator, very awesome. Having gravity on your small ship is very nice. We have basic assembler, basic raffinery, jump drive, and also a small connector, which is very useful. Very nice mod. Would recommend to install it? Yeah, of course. If you have a small ship that you are using for everything and you don't want to build a big grid version which takes time and resources, well, this mod is for you. So as you can see, in the vanilla version, the colors are very cartoonish. They don't look like they are coming from behind the glass. And with the mod, which is called AQD Emissive Colors, it changes everything. The colors are looking very realistic, less saturated, less cartoonish. I think they're looking much better. I would totally recommend using it. So this is basically the end, but I have few honorable mentions that I want to include. So the mods that I didn't include because of some reason, and there they are. So we have Concrete mod, which gives gives gravel the purpose of being something. You can basically make concrete out of it. Also reinforced concrete, which is great for building bases, but I don't have Wasteland DLC. And the concrete mod uses the texture from this DLC, so you need to have it in order to use it. But I don't have it, so I'm just telling you, you can use it. Go for it. Also, there is AQD research and vanilla tech tree, which changes how you research stuff up with, using a building. We talked about this, some similar mod to it in my CRM. Vanilla tech tree develops on the tree that you have in order to, unlock new technologies in Space Engineers, so you can take a look at that, but it didn't work for me, so maybe you will have more luck. But AQD also has better ore distribution, I think it's called, and definitely deeper ores, which, if you want to mine a bit more on planets, definitely go for it, why not? And there is also the conveyor expansion from AQD, and I didn't talk about it simply because, with the newest update we have a reinforced version of the conveyor tube, so there is no need for using that, at least to my understanding. So now that would be all. Thanks again for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, maybe subscribe. And if you have any propositions about mods, about maybe different games, anything you want to know about Space Engineers, just write a comment. I'll probably answer, maybe we'll even do a video about it. Why not give it a go? Thank you once again, see you later.